Well, thank you very much. You'll always say repisa loquito. That is the first speak for itself. I must say first and foremost a big thank you to the Comrade Governor of Edo State, Comrades Adam Saliu Shomole, the Executive Governor of our dear state, Edo State, for giving me the opportunity, after this while to be a part of his success story in Edo State today. Yes, the budget ministry, I took over from a chap that really laid a very solid foundation there. Foundation which I meant with all the encouragement from the Comrade Governor, which I had to build on. Don't forget that all this is why I am a technocrat coming from a private sector background. All my life, my first time of actually working, for somebody or for a government. I've been in legal practice all my life. When I go to the budget ministry, I discovered that my private sector background actually, really assisted me to catch up easily, because it's a ministry that is a technical ministry. Our governor will always call it the headmaster of the state, because it's a ministry that every other MDAs pass through. We are really a regulatory ministry. The check and balances of all the MDAs are based in my ministry. Since I took over, the Comrade Governor encouraged me to go into several trainings, both home and abroad, which I went. That really exposes me to all the nitty-gritties. Then, I meant that there have been these kind of laws that need to be put in place, particularly the procurement law. It's a law that enables the government, to operate an open government in a transparently to the whole world, in the sense that any contract that is going to be awarded in the states from the tune of $1 million has to be advertised, both in the print media and the electronic media. This law, I could say Edo State was the second state in the Federation that enacted that law. I think it's one of the reasons why the World Bank, to date, has that soft spot for Edo State. In addition to that, we have what is called there is a regulation we put in place. I have to make sure that is strengthened, which is where we have what is called warrant session. This warrant session is a department whereby all the spendings of the states, all the contract that is awarded in the states, outside the procurement, after the relevant signatures, let it be from the governor, from the commission, from any commissioners, or from the SSG, or from any officers in the state, is sent to our ministry. We have to do proper check to ensure that what that money is meant for, and that money is used for it. And the money that is being requested to be disbursed for that particular project, we had to cross-check that. If it is 20,000 naira, we had to ensure that the budget head, where that 20,000 naira is going to be removed to fulfill that particular project, the money is there. And not only just there, that the money, is spent for that purpose. And in addition to that, we also put in place what we call, though it was there, not thought out too effective, monitoring and evaluation department, so that all the projects monitoring and evaluation department are to ensure that there is a director that is a specialist in that department. The director is appointed in that department. The department, with the aid of Comrade Governor's approval and the SSG, all the necessary materials and the equipment we need in that department, from vehicles to computers to qualified staff, are approved from him to set up that department. That department is a very vital department in the state. Those schools, those roads, the hospitals, you see that any job you see that Comrade Governor is doing in Edo State today, that department is their responsibility the moment the contract is awarded to go out with vehicle to ensure that the contractor is on site. This is on a daily basis. It's on site. The school is being built according to specification. The road, the kind of thickness, the kind of materials you need to use for it that is being used is not adulterated. The state is not being shortchanged. This monitoring and evaluation department, and all these are the things we put in place. And not too long ago, there was this project of the DPO, which is for the assistance by the World Bank to the state. So, though my predecessor started it, which he could not conclude, I had to follow it up with the World Bank to ensure that this facility is granted to the state. That is why recently, you must have read in the papers, I see it in some of the media, that Edo State have been granted about 75 million US. It's actually going to be, it's actually 225 million US, because it three tranches, certified in 3 years, with more or less 0% repayment. The moratorium is after 10 years. Okay. Yeah. So all these and a lot of other things, the innovation that are brought into the budget ministry, particularly with this area that I mentioned, and the cordiality between my ministry and other MDAs also, and the budget preparation. For the first time, you saw the budget of 2012. It was a model which the federal government has to follow. In short, to make sure that the capital budget and the capital provision, is higher. We appropriate more into the capital provision more than the recurrent. I think this was what the federal government saw, that the National Assembly had to use Edo State as a reference point, telling the federal government, when the Federal Ministry of Finance submitted their 2012 budget, I said, look, take a cue from Edo State. When federal government presented almost 80% of capital, almost 80% of recurrent budget to them, and 20% capital, before before they had to go and do some rectification. So I think these and many others are my little contribution to the budget ministry so far.
Yeah. So from what you have said about your ministry, we can assume that you take responsibility to ensuring that projects that are being initiated in Edo State are properly done
Yeah.
and completed, and you give a pass mark that it has been done with the money that was allocated for the project.
Yes, that is it.
So
That's it.
you must be vital to the progress and development of the Edo area.
Thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you for that.
I know that the Action Governor is doing a lot. We are all in support, and we congratulate him. First and foremost, I think I should actually congratulate the entire Edo State and the Adam Oshomole, the Congress cabinet, for a job well done. I think that the way that the result of the election was actually a pass mark on the government.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Because before now, I remember that each time we talked about Edo State, it was now a given that unfortunately Edo State do not have the money to initiate projects and or engage in any kind of developmental initiative in the state, because we didn't have the money. So Edo State was being regarded as the poorest state in Nigeria. But Oshomole, the comrade, has come to show us that that wasn't actually right. That the problem was corruption. That we are not the richest state, but at least we had enough to tell our people that you can live a better life than the one you're living. Thank you. That's a good thing.
Thank you very much, and let me thank you so much for the commendation, particularly on the election. That we just congratulate our dear comrade governor for the victory of. It was actually two victories now: the victory of the July 14th elections and the victory in court again. And let me use this medium to thank all of you, all the Edolites in diaspora, for your great contribution. Your contribution for our victory, for that July 14th election, is immeasurable. We say may God bless you all, because all of you, so many of you, had to even, come down to Edo State to ensure that the election was successful. Those of you who could not even come down, I knew some of you that went into the internet, into the Facebook, into the Tube, to ensure that you help us to carry out massive campaign and talk to your people at home to tell them, look, this man that have been able to come to develop our state, because you know there is need for him to come back. In spite of the negative publicity, people were really talking about, saying about us. And I must say that your contribution, those of you in diaspora, have really assisted us a great deal, because I, in particular, from my local government, I knew some houses I've gone to, so well, my son, my daughter, our brother has called me and said, look, we should vote for this man. And let me tell you, Comrade Governor is a godsend to the Edo State people. That is a man that have touched every villages, every nook and cranny in Edo State.